So you learn certain things about a war: dates, names, actions that are fought, battles. But many people don't consider the immediate consequences on the people who are living around that fighting or where that fighting occurs. If, for example, you live in Britain, this is a country where no real fighting occurred in the country after the 1650s in England and the 1700s in Scotland. Consider the situation in Poland in 1939, in this young country that was squeezed between Germany and Russia, uncertain what to expect, with a mounting tension that developed through the spring and the summer of 1939 that culminated on the 1st of September in the German invasion, where the army fought, where the pilots fought in the air, and where the people on the ground, depending on where they were in the country, had to decide what they were going to do as the Germans came closer and closer to their own homes. The decision that you, if you were in that position, would have had to make was whether you were going to wait in your home to see what would happen, and the battle might actually pass directly through your town or even occur immediately on your property, or whether you were going to try to escape, and where the decision as to whether you could escape would be reached by what you could take with you. You may be fortunate enough to have a vehicle. You may be less fortunate and only have a cart on which to transport your goods. You may not even be able to afford to have a cart and only be able to take what you could carry. And what occurred in those early days of the fighting was that people took to the roads as best they could, and most of them had to walk. And it wasn't only fit people who could walk, it was women who were pregnant, it was old ladies, old men, and children. And these people streamed onto the roads in an attempt to escape the oncoming battle, and the roads were filled. And not only were the roads filled with streams of people like you and me trying to escape the fighting, they were also filled with the retreating military. Amongst the vehicles of the retreating military were vehicles trying to carry supplies and fuel for the planes that were fighting in the sky above. And so there was a mass of confusion, a great stream of nervous and disordered humanity, with the sound of the fighting perhaps just over the hill or in the distance, with German planes flying overhead, sometimes coming down to strafe the people on the road, and that was done mercilessly, and the fight fell back with this enormous underlying suffering, which you can only gain a sense of from newsreels of the time or from pictures that were taken during the course of the retreat of those terrible few days that occurred in Poland in the first weeks of September.